Hello, and welcome to another CX Moment. In this series, we chat with companies about what's happening with their business, their support centers, and with their customer experience. You may have noticed, but our cadence for this broadcast has changed. Again, we're now broadcasting twice a month, once here in the US and once in Asia Pacific. And you can watch all of our episodes on our Zendesk YouTube channel. We love questions, so please ask them in the Q&A and we'll do our best to answer them all. This time goes by really fast, so get your questions in early. And you'll also see a short poll about 5 minutes before the program ends. Please take a moment to share your feedback. We appreciate you and we read them all. Now that the logistics are out of the way, let's get started. I'm Sarah Reed from Zendesk, and I am joined today by Caitlin Logan, the Senior Director of Customer Experience at FabFitFun. Hey, Caitlin, it's so nice to see you.
Hey, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to have this conversation. There's always a good time to talk about CX.
Exactly. And this is just a chat between us. No one else is listening.
It's just you and I having a really low-key conversation.
But pretend I know nothing about FabFitFun. Give me a little snapshot around, what you do. What can I expect as a customer? What's great about it?
So, nice to meet everyone. I'm Caitlin. I'm the Senior Director of Customer Experience at FabFitFun. I've actually been at this company for almost 5 years. It's gone by really, really fast. And FabFitFun, at the beginning was a really small, little company. We sold subscription boxes. We actually started out before we didn't even have a subscription box. We were just, an online digital media company where we could share tips and tricks and beauty ideas. Fast forward to today, FabFitFun has well over 1 million subscribers to our seasonal box. And we also have a growing e-commerce platform where we provide our members an opportunity to shop between 30 and 70% off of some really, really great brands. It's just a surprise. The seasonal box is a surprise that people can get shipped quarterly. So it's grown into something a lot bigger than it was about 5 years ago.
I don't think I ever realized that you started off not being a subscription company. So that evolution is probably something for another conversation because I don't think we'll have time today, but that's absolutely fascinating. But why do you think FabFitFun is so relevant today? It seems like as a brand, you're more relevant than ever before.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the growth of FabFitFun, it's really about giving our members the experience of treating themselves. And, we do all of the heavy lifting. We do the trend spotting, and we, make sure that we curate this box that includes some really, really amazing products. And all the members need to do is sign up. We ship it to you. It comes to their house and they can enjoy. So, I think that it's super easy. And it's this kind of experience of gifting yourself or a friend picking out the products for you. So when you're surprised, you open it up, and it's this experience that our members have treating themselves.
So it's almost like self-care, but yet someone else is taking care of it for you.
Exactly. We're the best friend that they didn't know that they had, because we know what they like, what's exciting, what's out there. And even if there is something in their box that they, maybe don't use, or maybe they already have something like it, we see a lot of our members using the products that they get in their box and gifting them to their friends or to their children or to their grandparents. It's kind of an event or a box that can kind of fit for everyone. And so people like that emotional, experience, the excitement, what's inside the box. We also allow our customers to customize, so they can personalize the box to what they want. They can choose between 3 and 5 products depending on what their membership tier is. And so, even if they don't customize, we still are, using technology to understand who is that person, what they might want. And so they get surprises in the box as well, even if they do customize.
I love that. Well, if anyone in the audience, if you're a FabFitFun member, or even if you get any other subscription box, What do you look forward to? Drop that in the Q&A for us, because we're just curious, like, what do you most look forward to when you're getting that box? But you touched on a lot of things, Caitlin, but why do you think people love getting a subscription box?
Again, I think it's that emotional experience when you're opening it, and you're not picking out exactly what it is. So you see the box on your doorstep. Not only is it really pretty and it's packaged all beautifully, but you open it up and you're kind of seeing the products for the first time. You're touching them for the first time. There's also this anticipation of when the box is going to arrive, and how you're going to be using it. And then when you're sniffing the products and smelling it and trying it for the first time, it really is just this emotional experience. We've heard a lot of customers comparing it to Christmas morning, when, it's almost like Christmas is coming 4 times a year, because, they've got this specially gift wrap package, and then get to open it up and enjoy it. So I think it's that. I also think, now that we're in this kind of COVID world right now, things are a little bit different, and people have, some more time on their hands because maybe they're not commuting. Maybe they've stopped going out to dinners and lunches during the day, so they're just spending, more and more time at home. The box actually contains a lot of home products, self-care. We've got this group of members that talks a lot about masking, because there's tons of opportunities to get masks inside of your box. And so we've got this thread, of customers talking about which mask that they put on and how they're self-caring for the day. So it's about taking the time to care for yourself now that we do have a little extra time on our hands, in some cases. And also for those members that are not working from home, they, are out there, front lines, et cetera. They need something, or they deserve something more than ever to really, feel, cared for as well. So this appeals to a lot of different emotions going on right now, and kind of stress reduction, I guess, in the world that we're living in.
Well, it sounds like our audience is feeling everything that you just described. That Christmas morning feeling is exactly it. It's a gift to yourself that's still a little bit of a mystery. It adds some fun and flair to whatever you get. Michaela says, I look forward to receiving items or products that I wouldn't think would work for me. And it's helping me get outside of my regular comfort zone. Brian says, getting something from someone with better taste than myself.
So accurate, yes. And it's amazing the amount of times that I've read stories from customers that say, it's helping with their self-esteem, because, again, they might not know which mascara to buy or which, blush to buy, but, it comes in their box, they try it out, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I've never actually given myself the opportunity to feel this good. So, it definitely is tapping into something special.
You have such a strong community, and it's the community that they're talking to each other. You mentioned the masking group. How important is that community, do you think, to in selecting items from, how much do you rely on the community to give you back intel?
Yeah, this is a really fun topic, because our community is, so we consider our community like our whole member base, right? They're all part of the FabFitFun community, but we actually have a community forum, which I would say is the biggest representation of our member base. And these are members that are extremely engaged. They're, logging online, they're chatting with each other. They can create any kind of discussion topics that they want. It's a free for all, member to member. And what's really special about it is members are giving us their canned feedback, immediate feedback, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. And every level, I would say, of decision making in every department, is paying attention to what our customers are saying. We've got this value that members come first. And, you know, I can't tell you how many meetings I've been in that we consider, okay, what is our community going to think about this? You know, what is that member experience? Are we sure that we want to do this? And it even, you know, makes it that much heavier, you know, if we do make a mistake or if we, you know, display the wrong product image somewhere, you know, our members are right there to tell us on the community, hey, you know, this is wrong, you know, what's going on here, and holding us accountable to that, which, you know, is a really, really beautiful thing. And we're listening and we're like, we need to do better. We cannot have these photos wrong, you know, because this is not what this is not the member experience that we want. So the community forum is a major driving force. We do use it to kind of crowdsource opinions sometimes. You know, we'll do polls. Katie, our co-founder, she's on there every single day reading member comments, and, you know, she'll post, do you like this product or that product? Or, you know, what did you think of this experience? And we're encouraging a lot of different departments at our company actually to log in there, read through comments, you know, really utilize that as a tool for, you know, whatever it is that they're working on in their roles.
Do you think that because the community is so strong and that members know that you also spend so much time as a company within the community, that it also keeps them from potentially putting some of those things that you just described out on social, for example? So instead of saying this is wrong, you know, on Twitter, they're instead working with you within the community to actually be more constructive.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we still have a very, very strong social engagement on Twitter and Facebook and all of those channels. You know, so that's definitely still there. But I would say the members that really know that we're on the community and we're engaging, they go there, absolutely. And I think the beauty of the community too is that it's members helping members. So, you know, they'll log in, they'll ask a question, hey, has anyone experienced this before? Or, you know, and they jump on and help each other. You know, we've got some engaged community members that it almost seems like they're on there all day, every day, helping other customers out. And, you know, we, you know, absolutely use that. I would say it's a discussion tool, you know, so they can talk to each other and we can talk to them. And on social, it's less of this collective, you know, kind of feedback engine. It's just, you know, you post once and we'll reply, you know, or
It feels more broadcast, and it's
I
have something to say versus I have something to contribute.
Exactly. Yes. It becomes a discussion on the community. And then what's cool about the community too is it's not just, you know, specific feedback about the FabFitFun experience. There's a lot of non-FabFitFun related discussions that go on there, go up there too. And, you know, I'm so surprised sometimes when members are putting kind of their whole vulnerable selves out there on the forum. You know, they'll share a personal story, or they'll say, hey, I'm going through this difficult situation, and, you know, does anyone have any advice? And like, members will come to their rescue in numbers. Like, you know, when there's threads that, you know, someone might need help, or someone is going through a difficult time, or, you know, they're working on their graduate degree and they're super stressed, and, you know, you name it, the story's on there, and someone else has probably gone through something similar already. And so people will start a discussion, and really just feel supported by their fellow, you know, member, you know, peers on the forum, which is just such a beautiful thing to read and be a part of.
I think that is such a beautiful thing, that it isn't just about customer support that they're talking about, or they're not just talking about product, that they're really sharing their life with each other, which is essentially what we all want out of our community, right?
Yeah, I'll say, you know, the community has been a really interesting thing to learn. I think we launched the community about 4 years ago, a little bit after I started, and it's been just a whole, you know, uphill climb learning how communities function. And the biggest thing is that, you know, like, the community is going to be itself, and members are going to, you know, be themselves, and you can't actually control it, and you have to know that, you know, it's a social media platform that if people have opinions, they have them. Even if they're bad opinions, they're entitled to have their own opinions. And so, we went through this thing of figuring out, okay, well, they've got these really, they're sharing these really bad stories. Like, how do we stop this? And you can't stop it, because people are people, and they've got their experiences. And so what we learned is that, it's this wave, and you just have to ride it, and you have to be there to support your customers. If they're confused, jump in there and explain. If they're unhappy, tell them that you're there to support, and as much as you can help, but collectively, it's a very, very powerful thing. And you can't, you can't decide what they're going to talk about or how they're going to talk, because, it's just like any social media, but we do have to get in there to clarify sometimes.
Sometimes, yes, that's a really important thing. For anybody with a community, you have to stay active in it. You're hitting on so many important points. And, just like with self-service, you can't just build it and forget it. You have to be constantly paying attention to it and ensuring that the conversations are up to date, that they are not staying on track, but that there's accuracy, right? Because while everyone does have an opinion, there is also the accuracy that FabFitFun has to instill back into those conversations. Let's move a little bit into consumer behavior. And I would expect that the behavior of your customers has changed a little bit. When you and I were talking, FabFitFun actually thought you were going to have a calm 2020, and that you were focusing on your current members and maybe not looking at high growth for the year. And that didn't happen, did it?
No, yes. So this is it's a funny story. At the start of the year, we strategically decided, we wanted to really hone in our focus and double down on our core business. We had a few side projects that we kind of slowed down, and, for our team, we didn't expect to really be doing much hiring. And we really wanted to support, exactly who our members were and what drives the most value to them, which is, the subscription box, of course, and our e-commerce. So those are the two things that we just decided, let's double down. Let's make sure that these are the absolute best, experience for our customers. And then, when COVID hit, we didn't quite know what was going to happen. I'm sure a lot of other people were in that same boat. What are our members going to do? Are they still, wanting to, are they still going to be excited about the FabFitFun box? Are they going to, completely, just stop? And so, we started to notice, like pretty shortly after, this started, I think it was in March and early April, that members were turning to us to buy the goods that they might need to support themselves while they're at home. So we, pivoted to sourcing products like hand sanitizers and masks and things like that, but also things that really, added value in the home, and things that, could help lift people's spirits when they were, not sure about what was going on in the world. So we definitely saw our e-commerce, pick up. And, I think one of the reasons why FabFitFun is so valuable to our members in a time like this is, they really are getting these high-end brands, these trends that are out there that we've handpicked for them in our sales and in our box. But the value is immense. They're paying $50 for the box, but they're getting over $200 in value. In a lot of cases, it's more than $200 in value for the box. One product might equal $50 in retail value. So, if you look at it that way, everything else is comped almost.
Right.
And then, with the e-commerce sales, it's 30 to 70% off retail value. So they're getting high quality products, at a price that they feel more comfortable with, in this world right now.
I know I am certainly buying a lot more things online than, and I was a heavy online shopper before this, but now everything seems to come in a box. And how do you ensure, and this is a question that from Jennifer, which I think is a great one. How do you ensure you're choosing at FabFitFun sustainable products and you're working with companies that share the same value system as you do? She, like many of us, probably start to feel a little guilty with how, heavy our recycling bins seem to be getting on a weekly basis.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, this is definitely a priority. We create a lot of stories around the products that we choose and put inside of our box. So for those of you that, take the time to read the magazine and see some of the content, we'll specifically choose to partner with certain companies that are sustainable and that do share some of those values with us. And I would say it's a main driver. So Katie, like I said, our co-founder is, she oversees the merchandising, and our merchandising team is extensive. We've got a buying team. We've got an innovation team. We've got all of these teams working together to make sure that the box is going to be the best. Right now, we're actually sourcing for next fall. So we do a lot of this research very, very far in advance, and we want to be where our members want us to be. So we're also, we send out surveys after every box so people can rate their box experience, and we take that. It helps guide us. We'll also send proactive surveys to certain groups of members so that we can see how might they react to a certain product. Market research. It's an extensive operation on the merchandising side.
It sounds like it. Out of curiosity, how many people sign up somebody else for one of your boxes?
You know what? I don't have that number off the top of my head, but gifting is definitely a hot topic that comes in. So, you can gift the FabFitFun membership really easily if you're not a member. If you are a member, we also have something we call Send Gifts to Friends, where you can actually share FabFitFun with a friend, and they can sign up and they pay a small fee for shipping, and then they'll get a little mini box as their first box, which then would roll into a full-size box if they decided to keep it. So they actually get to experience kind of this mini version of FabFitFun, before experiencing the full-size box, as long as a friend refers that to them. So it's kind of a fun way for you to.
It's a great idea. And do you think that then helps with the retention of the giftee? Then it's a little sampling and it's like, oh, yes, I want to keep doing this versus this was something so unexpected and now I'm signed up and maybe I'm not sure I want to commit.
Yeah, well, I mean, as we do with any of our products, when we're sourcing, products inside of our box, quality and value are our top. So we don't discount. If it's your first mini box, like we want you to have 3 or 4 of the most amazing products, so that you can really understand what it's like to get a full-size FabFitFun box. So it really is a mini version, and they can, expect what to get from the full-size version from that little sneak peek.
That's a great idea for so many companies who are having to rely on direct-to-consumer and e-commerce right now.
And coming from a trusted friend who's sharing that with you and who also may have had a good experience before is even more powerful. Yeah.
So we are getting lots of questions, and it always happens, we're running out of time. But I think this is a fabulous question around not everything always goes right? Sometimes an order goes wrong, a customer complains. How does your support team handle that when, as you mentioned, people really look forward to this box like it's Christmas?
Yeah. So we handle this with the same mentality as we handle all of our decision making at the company, which is members come first. So, if we have members that are really upset about a situation, the team's job is to, really hear them out and make it right in some way or another. I think sometimes it's out of our control. Shipping has been a hot topic. this quarter and last quarter, you know, people's boxes are taking longer to get to them, and they reach out to customer support and, you know, where's my box? And, you know, it's this, you know, emotional disappointment that they're feeling because they can't open their box yet. You know, and in those cases, you know, it is hard when, you know, the customer service team doesn't have, you know, we can't wave a magic wand and actually get their box delivered to them, but we can hear them out. You know, we can do what we can. We can reach out to the carriers, and, you know, we can do our research, you know, but it really depends on the situation, and it depends on the customer. And again, customers come first. So we are known to give more, I think, than a lot of other companies would, because we want them to feel valued and that we understand that their experience was bad.
And alongside that, have you had to alter your refund policies at all, or replacement policies, because maybe someone has forgot to cancel their subscription or has lost their job at this point in time, or they live in an area where UPS or FedEx or the mail system is just routinely late and, you know, is overrun? Have you had to make any adjustments there?
Yeah. So internally, you know, we definitely are hearing people out and are more lenient. I would say, especially going into COVID at the beginning, you know, we wanted to, you know, we started offering skip for people that reached out because they, you know, they lost their job or they just couldn't afford, you know, to renew in the summertime. And so, you know, we actually didn't used to offer skip. It would either be cancel or don't cancel. And, you know, we kind of made this exception because we're like, well, we still want them to, you know, be around. We still, you know, want them to know we care about them. So let's meet at this middle ground, and, you know, we won't bill them for summer, but, you know, we'll put them on the agenda for, or we'll put them on the schedule for fall, and they can always change their mind later. You know, so being really, really flexible, you know, with cancels and, you know, just with being there where they need us to make, you know, give them that experience is, I think, been so helpful for our customers. We really do feel for anyone that's going through something, and we understand. And if they know that we had their back in this situation, then, you know, we're building that long-term relationship for them versus just that short-term, you know, retention. So we want the long-term retention.
Long-term retention. That is a beautiful place for us to segue. We are almost out of time. I'm going to try to convince Caitlin to do a quick little lightning round with me after this to answer some of these questions that we were unable to get to, particularly the ones around staffing, because I know those are so important, especially as we are gearing up for the holidays. And I'm sure you have lots to say about that. So stay tuned for that. We will we'll do our best to answer those questions as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, my last question to you is, do you have one Zendesk tip or trick that you want to share that has helped either your support organization or helps your customers?
Sure. I mean, this is a hard one because you know, we've been Zendesk customers for so long, before I even started at FabFitFun, so longer than 5 years. And Zendesk has really grown with us and helped us scale. You know, I'm going to give the credit to another team member of mine, who oversees our tools and systems and is working in Zendesk every day. And the big thing that she mentioned, is the apps. You know, we don't think about all of the apps in the marketplace and the opportunity to just create, you know, an amazing agent experience, and then also for reporting. That, you know, so many of those apps are free and they're so useful, and they tie into our existing systems. You know, an example is that we, you know, actually loaded the Looker app so that we could have our customer lifetime value, name, you know, what type of member were they. We had it in, you know, right there on the side so that agents could actually have that knowledge as they're talking to the customer. So that's just one example. You know, time tracking, redaction, you know, just, I mean, the whole marketplace is massive. So, you know, it can really cater and personalize your Zendesk.
Well, you have made our partner team so excited that for this apps marketplace pitch, they don't get nearly the love they deserve, because you're correct. There is so much that you can find there that will make your customers' lives, your support agents' lives, your analysts' lives so much easier.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for today. We've completely run out of time. I want to say thank you to Caitlin for sharing your expertise. It was so delightful to talk with you. And thank you to everyone for sharing a moment with us. Next time on a CX Moment, we'll actually talk with Carousel, which is a Singapore-based startup that has become one of the largest peer-to-peer marketplaces in Southeast Asia. And that's all thanks to their community. And then on October 17th, we'll be joined by Plexus Worldwide, and we'll dive into self-service. In the meantime, please stay connected with us and the rest of the Zendesk community. Be safe, be helpful, and we'll chat again soon. Thank you, everyone.